Hello my gorgeous boys. Today Granny's going to read you a book that used to be Mummy and Bethy's favourite. I used to read this to Mummy and Bethy every night when we were in bed, and Grandad would be out at work and I'd have Mummy on one side and Bethy on the other and Granny in the middle, and we'd all be snuggled up in bed like you do with your mummy now, and this would be their favourite book. Okay, so let's see what you think of it. Okay, it's called Alfie Gets In First. One day, Alfie, Mum and Annie Rose were coming home from the shops. Alfie ran on ahead because he wanted to get home first. He ran all the way from the corner to the front gate and up the steps to the front door. There he is, there's Alfie running. And there's his mum with Annie Rose, and that's their street where they live. Then he sat down on the top step and waited for the others. Along came Mum, pushing Annie Rose in the shopping. "I raced you," called Alfie. "I'm back first, so there." Annie Rose didn't care. She was tired. She sat back in her pushchair and sucked her thumb. There they are, see? Poor old Annie Rose is tired. None of you need buggies in your house now. It's funny, isn't it? Mum put the brake on the pushchair and left Annie Rose at the bottom of the steps, while she lifted the basket of shopping up to the top. Then she found the key and opened the front door. Alfie dashed in ahead of her. I've won," he shouted. Mum put the shopping down in the hall and went back down the steps to lift Annie Rose out of her pushchair. But what do you think Alfie did then? Here he is, going into the house, and Mummy's going back down the steps. See, she's left the shopping there. What do you think he's going to do? I wonder if you're right. He gave the door a great big slam. Bang! Just like that. Then Mum was outside the door holding Annie Rose, and Alfie was inside with the shopping. Mum's key was inside too. Can you spot the key? Oh no, what is he going to do? If Mummy's not got the key, she won't be able to get in. And Alfie's only little, so he can't get to the door handle. Oh my goodness. What have you done, Alfie? "Open the door, Alfie," said Mum. But Alfie didn't know how to open the door from the inside. The catch was too high up. Mum looked into the letterbox. "Try to reach the catch and turn it," she said. Alfie tried, but he couldn't quite reach it. "Can you put the key through the letterbox?" said Mum. But Alfie couldn't reach the letterbox either. Oh dear, look. There's Mum with Annie Rose, and Annie Rose was all tired. I wonder what he's going to do now. Annie Rose was hungry as well as tired, and she began to cry. Then Alfie began to cry too. He didn't like being all by himself on the wrong side of the door. Just then, Mrs. McNally came hurrying across the street to see what all the noise was about. There's Mrs. McNally coming there, see? There's Annie Rose having a cry, and Alfie's having a cry. I wonder if Mrs. McNally will be able to help. She and Mum took it in turns to saying encouraging things into the letterbox, but Alfie still couldn't open the door. Oh dear. "Go and fetch your little chair from the sitting room and then you'll be able to reach," said Mum. But Alfie didn't try to fetch his little chair. He just went on crying, louder and louder. And Annie Rose cried louder and louder too. "There's my Maureen," said Mrs. McNally. "I'm sure she'll be able to help." Mrs. McNally's Maureen, see? She's probably about your Cam's age. I wonder if she'll be able to help. I'm not sure what she can do. Mrs. McNally's Maureen was a big girl. Right away she came and joined Mum and Annie Rose and Mrs. McNally on the top step. I'll have to break a window," she said, "but I'll try to climb up the drain pipe first if you like." But Mrs. McNally didn't like that idea at all. "Oh no, Maureen, you might hurt yourself," she said. Just then Alfie's very good friend, the milkman, came up the street in his milk float. Can you see the milkman coming up the street there? When he saw Mum and Annie Rose and Mrs McNally and Mrs McNally's Maureen all standing on the top step, he stopped his float and said, "What's the trouble?" So they told him. "Don't worry, mate," the milkman shouted. "We'll soon have you out of there." Now I can see somebody over the road that might be able to help. Can you see anybody that might be able to help? I think I can. Tell Mummy what you think. Oh, I wonder where Alfie's going as well. Looks as though this lock's going to be difficult to break, said the milkman. But then Mrs McNally's Maureen had a very good idea. She ran to ask the window cleaner who was working up the street if he would bring his ladder and climb up to the bathroom window. And of course, when the window cleaner heard about Alfie, he came hurrying along with his ladder as quickly as he could. Did you get it right? Did you spot the man with the ladder, the window cleaner? And what's Alfie doing now? Look, gone to get his chair like his mummy told him before, didn't he? Then Mum and Annie Rose and Mrs McNally and Mrs McNally's Maureen and the milkman all stood on the top step and watched while the window cleaner put his ladder up against the house. He started to climb up to the bathroom window, but when he was halfway up the ladder, what do you think happened? Okay, so is everybody there? Okay, here's Alfie. What do you think Alfie's going to do? The front door suddenly opened and there was Alfie. He'd managed to reach the catch and turn it like that after all. He was very pleased with himself. He opened the front door as wide as it would go and stood back grandly to let everybody in. So he was brave in the end, wasn't he? And he went and got the chair and actually managed to open the door himself. Then the window cleaner came down from his ladder and he and the milkman and Mrs McNally's Maureen and Mrs McNally and Annie Rose and Mum and Alfie all went into the kitchen and had tea together. Oh, look, that's nice, isn't it? Mrs McNally's having a little cuddle off Annie Rose. Alfie and the milkman and the window cleaner having a good chat. And they're all having a nice cup of tea. And there they are, saying thank you and goodbye to everybody. That was a lovely story. I wonder if Mummy's enjoyed it too. Brings back lots of memories for Granny reading that story to Bethy and Mummy. Love you boys. Night night.